Capricorn.
Hello Capricorn, this is your forecast for September 2015, and we're changing up the game now, and there's a big game player here that's changing signs, which is Jupiter, now moving into Virgo, your sister sign. So it's really going to harmonize with you and what you're going to do. It's going to help expand your experience here between now and that of late next summer. Having Jupiter in Virgo is all about also looking at how you can perfect yourself. Virgo is very structured, very organized, very linear and in communication, but in the ninth house, it's also reaching for those higher truths. So many of you Capricorns might just see that you're spiritually going to be expanding this year. Perhaps maybe even joining a few new groups in order to deepen, to research. The ninth house is all about education, whether it means going back to school, taking a class, or you educating yourself. And of course we have the web, which gives perfect opportunities here and now. But Jupiter is also home in this area. It rules the ninth house, which also has to do with foreign people and places, foreign countries, languages. Some of you might pick up a new language to study. Others might see that you're going to be traveling far and wide here over the next 12 months. The sun and new moon is also highlighting this area here in September. The sun is you, and so there might be a focus now wanting to make a decision to dive into a new topic perhaps. Having the new moon here, that is when we put down our intentions for the month. And what should those intentions be? Well, since it is the ninth house, you might just want to make a truce with yourself that perhaps to learn something new, take a course, or also promise yourself that you'll get excuse me, out and about and travel some more this year. It doesn't have to take place this month, even though should you come to travel, like having a late or an extended time for vacation, September would be awesome for it. But you have a whole year before the new moon comes back to this area. So as long as the intention is there, you're putting it out there to the universe. And don't forget to also write your abundance checks, because that is the time, which, by the way, will be on the 13th of September. And it is 20 degrees in Virgo. If you have, say, any other planets in your chart at 20 degrees, this new moon will also activate those parts of your chart as well. So that's always good to know. We have other things happening here this month too, and we've been talking about Saturn's transit there in your 11th house, how that has been binding your energies into groups and organizations and friendships, and maybe also feeling a little limited on your time and your space to be able to share with your friends. At least now those rings of Saturn, they're giving. Saturn is moving into your 12th house. So what does that mean, Capricorn? Well, having Saturn in the 12th is all about pulling your energies more inwardly. It's the subconscious area. It's also the karmic area. So what Saturn's wanting to do is now have 2.5 years to download, embed, and filter out everything that you've been doing these last 28 years, where it's been out and about circling your chart. So you might at times perhaps feel tired. If you do, no matter what your age is, you might just every now and again have a need for a nap. Then you know where it's coming from and why that is taking place. So that has nothing to do with age. It has to do with regeneration way down to the cellular level. When you're in the 12th house with Saturn, it's recouping, rebuilding, and recharging its batteries so that when it comes into your sign in Capricorn, it's going to start off a new cycle in the first house and then work its way through the 12 houses. And by then, you will be equipped, ready, fit to fight, to take on great new responsibilities. But that's 3 years from now, 2.5 to 3 years from now. We have a beautiful conjunction here between Venus and Mars. That is 14 degrees there in the sign of Leo. Coming from the heart, it's in your 8th house. So So Capricorn, that is the house of intimacy. It's also very romantic. It's when Venus and Mars interact and they do that dance. So those of you who are in a relationship, circle your chart or your calendar there for the first. This is a wonderful time to interact, to share. The 8th house is also about balance and fairness and the resources that you share. What is fair, what is not fair? Are you giving too much? Is he giving too little, or vice versa? This is the time to really work those things out. And I feel that you will see eye to eye and heart to heart, since both these energies are now together. On the 8th, we have Mars is training off on Uranus. And Mars is your drive, your ambition, your physical energy. Uranus for you is in the 4th house, where it has been for a while. Has to do with your home foundation, family, your roots, where you came from, and also your home, real estate. If you're thinking, for example, about wanting to change things up, maybe considering a move, this would be a great time for you to look into mortgages, get a loan. Why? Because that Mars is in the 8th house of other people's money. That is lending institutions. And Uranus wanting to change things at home, perfect match. Venus is also there in their 8th house, which rules money. So for those of you who are thinking about it, September is blessed. It should be very easy for you to transact these papers. The only thing that maybe could come in and jip things a little bit could be some delays in the paperwork. This is because Mercury is going to go retrograde this month. So make sure you get all your ducks in a row, everything squared away, signed before September 17th. It will retrograde until October 9th. So this Mercury will retrograde in your 10th house for career. So you might just see those objectives, because 10th house isn't always career. For those of you who are not working, what is the 10th house in that case? The 10th house is the aims that we reach for, okay? It's our highest goals. And so you might feel that even here, there might be a little setback, little delay, especially when we come to the 9th. Well, Mercury's still not retrograde at the time, but it's going to come up against a challenge to Pluto in a square. And we feel perhaps challenged in the sense of communication when we have that aspect. I don't feel that you necessarily will come to resolve. If you do, you're good. But if not, you're going to have a second chance for this. And mark this date on the 24th. Since Mercury's retrograding, it's coming back, touching that very same degree, which it did on the 9th, meeting up now with Pluto again. And since it's retrograde, it's bringing issues from the past up, and you will have more of a stronger stand. So the window of opportunity isn't gone. Now, on the 25th, Mars and Saturn are square. Mars being your drive, your goal, and your power, should I say. And Saturn always looks out for you to secure you. So what does it mean when they come into a square? Well, yes, that is a challenge too, and it's smack on top of that Mercury-Pluto. There's only like hours between, so they're all like one aspect. But I'd like to say, instead of backing off, looking at it as a challenge, because then that window of opportunity will be gone. When the universe does this, it's only because it wants to bring certain things to awareness so that we can work through it. And Mars here is your force, it's your power. So Mars is ready to work through the limitation. Think about Saturn with rings. It's limiting something. So you're going to have to work for it. But then again, the outcome of it is the resolve that yes, it's going to secure you in the long run. Now, your Saturn is, at the time, it has moved into your 12th house. Mars coming there from your, let me see, it has already moved on the 25th. It's just moving out of your 8th house to the 9th. So it's sitting on the cusp. So you've got little 8th, little 9th house there. It's between other people's money, resources, banking, investment, agencies, and so forth. And then what is right, what is your higher wish, what has to do with obligations and justice and law. It's right there with Saturn. So I'm feeling that yes, you should be able to get what it is you're looking for. So that's a work through aspect. But you have good things here coming up to support you this month, which would be Venus, first Mars trending off on Uranus. Uranus in the home, like I said, you can have good news on the 8th from that very same institution. Now, what you experience on the 8th will repeat itself because now Venus will come and also trine Uranus on the 22nd. So the 8th and 22nd, beautiful dates for you this month. It's one of these oh my gods, right? Where things just seem to fall into your lap. But don't forget that you have worked for this in the past, so it's not all just magic. But it's a door opener, and I feel the excitement is there, the unexpected is there, and it has to do with money issues, home, real estate, or family. Those two good insights that you will be hearing, or news on these dates. So that is the 8th and the 22nd. On the 23rd, we have the Sun, which is you, your energies, and Saturn come together in a sextile. So Saturn being in your now 11th house, just on the cusp into the 12th house, with your Sun from the 9th house. This is you now reaching for, should I say, more of a spiritual grounding, spiritual insight. It's also karmically something that you feel you've earned that's coming to you, and putting down secure roots. So this is giving you the confidence that you need when you meet up there on the 24th, 25th with the challenge. You're feeling capable, your confidence is coming across, your communication is very powerful. So do know that, because it's coming with that Plutonian energy. So the full moon, let's talk about that. That's the 27th, and this full moon is 4 degrees in Aries. For you, that will be also in your 4th house of home, family, real estate. This whole area is going to be illuminated here, so you're probably going to be able to find the full-ended result or resolve of what you've worked straight through September for. So that's a day to perhaps celebrate for most of you. Yes, we have a couple of events. Venus went retrograde all last month. There in August. Many of you have gone down memory lane, looked to the past, maybe even the far past. Some of you have been just looking into these last few months, into your romantic heart, figuring out what works, what doesn't work. So there's a sorting, and this is what we do when we have the retrograde. So it's matters of the heart, but also matters as far as financial, and looking into how you could tweak and perhaps refine your savings, because it's that 8th house, right? Then we have Mercury retrograde from the 17th throughout October 9th. We have Saturn moving out of Scorpio into Sagittarius on the 17th. Will remain there for the better part of 2.5 to 3 years, your 12th house. Mars, which currently is in your 8th house, will move into the 9th house and join Jupiter and the Sun there on the 25th in the sign of Virgo. Now that means that your physical energy is really going to be honing in on details. That is what Virgo does best, is perfection, perfection, perfection. So you might come to see that you will start researching. In that case, whatever it is you're going to be researching, you're going to turn every single stone to find your answers. And you might be traveling a whole lot more, but that is for October, when Mars is going to really journey through. Some more about that next month. If you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe now so you can get your October reading directly into your inbox. Speaking about that, I just want to thank you too for following me on the Horoscopes. They do give a little different information than the astrology, and yet they really correlate. They work together so well, don't they? So thank you for all your pleasant comments. Then we have at the very end here, Pluto has been retrograde, and it has been working in your 1st house. So slowly but surely, you're feeling that you are transforming, Capricorn. You're really coming to your inner power, especially those of you who are born from the beginning of your sign to halfway through the sign. This is where Pluto has been doing the greatest job yet. The rest of you still have it coming, but you're all feeling it because it isn't your sign for all of you. But when it really starts getting into the degrees of your exact degree of your sun, that's when the major transformation takes place. So that is pretty much what we have here for your forecast in September. I will see you in October, so listen to your moon and your rising sign. I'll see you next month.